What's up, YouTube dweebs? Welcome to the Nonverbal Honors channel, where today I will be giving my impressions on Estepario Siberiano's band's first craft single. And the name of his band is called The Cost, and the name of their single, or I guess their first song, is called Not For Me. And I will not be reacting. No. I will be giving my impressions because I've listened to this song before and I've taken Estepario's advice and I've listened to it. Where is it? I've listened to it 3 times! 3 times before judging. And what I want to do in this video is just explain my thoughts. And that's really it. And I'm a musician, I'm a drummer, amateur musician, but I have been following El Estepario for well over a year now, and really enjoying his content. And, I think he's one of the most innovative drumming creators on YouTube, if not music creators on YouTube. He's really pushing the envelope. And I think this is cool. What he's done is he's deviated from what a lot of YouTubers kind of tend to pigeonhole themselves into. And he's actually started on this musical work of a band and expanded his creativity. And so yeah, I'll just talk about my thoughts on this band, on the song. If you want to listen to the whole song without me jabbering, just go watch it on YouTube on his page. And I try to find it on Spotify. He provides the link in the comments, but it takes you to the page and it said the song's not available, so I couldn't actually listen to it on Spotify, but that's fine. I just listened to it on good old YouTube. Anyway, let's get into it. So before I start the video, I just want to give some context of what I thought when I first saw this. So I was unaware that he was actually going to start a band. He probably talked about it in one of his earlier videos, but I guess I missed it. So this kind of came as a surprise to me in my feed. And I was like, cool. He started a band and he's delving into that realm of musicianship. And a lot of content creators in music tend to just stick to doing guitar covers or reacting to other music and kind of just being personalities. Not a lot of YouTube creators delve out into actually creating their own bands. And if they do, it's pretty unremarkable. And for example, Jared Dines has released some music, and not to harp on him, I love Jared Dines, but his music I always found to be kind of it's fine, whatever. But, and then a few other YouTubers have as well. But their music never stands out from their actual video content. A good example of this is Jared Dines does Musician Mansion. And if you haven't seen that episode on his page, go watch it. It's actually kind of interesting. Or I guess it's a series, but it's actually kind of interesting. He has a whole bunch of YouTubers, music YouTubers come and collaborate, and each of them create their own band and do this kind of contest thing. And it's fun to watch. And what a lot of these YouTubers say is that they are so used to just working by themselves that it's kind of weird collaborating with other people and coming up with music. And that's why I think it's so cool that El Estepario is making his own band, because it's a whole nother thing. You're collaborating with other musicians. You're actually creating your own music and thinking about the things you want to do instead of kind of just reacting to other people or copying other people, doing covers and putting your own spin on it. And so it's just kind of it's like if you're a rock drummer and you go over to try to learn jazz. It's like you think if you're a drummer you just know how to drum, but they're 2 completely different genres that you have to learn. So that's why I think this is cool. But without further ado, let's just watch the video, and I'll pause it every now and then, give my stupid commentary, and we'll have fun. I do think this is a good intro with the guitar. It kind of leaves you in anticipation of what is this song going to be. Okay, so right there, that intro, I think everyone watching this is like super focused in on what is El Estepario gonna do on the drums. He's gonna do some crazy one-handed fill with a triple pedal and smoking 5 joints, and he's gonna like just go off the hook. But no, that first fill is actually pretty straightforward. It's a pretty standard rock fill, and it just kind of solidifies like, okay, this is music. He's a musician. He is focused on what the song needs and what the band is trying to do. And it's working. It's fitting. And one thing I love is that intro builds suspense, just the kind of bends on the string. And it leaves a lot of room for the chorus. Well, it becomes the chorus, but that when the whole band comes in to really hit hard. Onward. But yeah, he's not going crazy on the drums. Nobody's going crazy right now. It's all pretty straightforward, which is kind of refreshing, honestly. Big breath. Big breath. And I really like this verse. So this verse, the guitar and the bass, it reminds me of A Perfect Circle. And I can't pinpoint exactly why, but I think mainly in like the bass tone, how it doesn't just stick to a normal follow the root notes. It's kind of doing its own thing, adding its own flavor and revolving around what the guitar is doing. The guitar tone is very memorable, in my opinion. It sounds a little kind of, I don't know, like it's running through an older amplifier. It's kind of aged a lot, and I don't know the exact effect on it. Maybe it's like a chorus effect or something, but it just sounds a little kind of like going back in time. And maybe that's only me. I know that's kind of a stretch, but that's the energy I kind of get from this. It reminds me of like grunge transitioning into nu metal. Not quite either genre, but it's like kind of both of those in the in-between. I don't know. Onward. Right there. So that little bass lick at the end of the phrase, that's kind of what I'm talking about, that it sounds a little bit like A Perfect Circle or some of those other kind of rock metal bands from the late 90s, early 2000s. The sum of all the things you were, and the vocals sound good. Thank goodness. I think a lot of people worry that the vocals with a new band or a new song might not sound great. They might, like, it's everybody's biggest nitpick is how do the vocals sound, but his vocals sound pretty good. You loved, the ones you left behind when you prayed, and a great shift, a modular shift in the voice. It's not just sticking to the same thing. So I guess it's kind of pretty chorus, but I like the shift in the voice. Again, pretty standard fill, bottom triplet. He hasn't, El Estepario hasn't done anything remarkable yet, which isn't bad. That's cool. So it's the same chord progression as the intro when the band comes in, but they add that little pause, that rest in the instruments to have that bass kick fill. And I actually think it's cool how the camera just zooms in top down on it. But that's a good musical, like a mature creative thing to do where, we have this same chord progression, but let's break it up a little bit. Let's add something more interesting, make it distinguishable from everything else. And so they add that pause in there, brings it back in full force. So yeah, back to the voice. And I'm just going to talk a little bit. I'm not going to keep pausing it. Because right here, Okay, I lied. I'm going to pause it. So right there, he has a little flare, El Estepario on the hi-hat. And that is an example of me where he's not laying back completely and just playing something standard. He is putting in his own flair at the right moments to add some flavor, some ramen noodle beef flavoring in there where it's not like the best ramen you ever had, but it's enough to make it be like, okay, I like this. This is good. So yeah, onward. So cold, like the stories that you told. Getting back to that first change. I also think it's funny how his band members are all kind of like corporate casual. He's one of his classic white people. Again, same film. Nothing much has changed. Nothing much is different. And the vocals aren't screaming. I love screaming vocals, but I think we're in a day and age where it's like, in this type of music, it's very kind of overdone on it. And I think it's nice that it's just kind of clean vocals throughout. Now here you're like, is there gonna be a breakdown? There's gotta be a breakdown, of course. Sorry, I missed the timing on that. But when I first heard this, I was like, okay, there's obviously going to be a breakdown here. There's got to be a breakdown. And you're rewarded. There is a breakdown. And I don't think it's in 4/4. I haven't actually really counted it. But just from hearing it, it doesn't sound like it's in 4/4. It might be changing time signatures. But I'll have to figure that out. If you know, let me know down in the comments below. So in radio pop music, predictability can be really frustrating, where it's like, I know I've heard the first 5 seconds of the song and I know exactly where it's going to go and what everything's going to be. In this sense, for me personally, like, maybe other people are feeling it too, but it's like, okay, after this chorus, there has to be a breakdown. Like, there's just got to be. And there was. And that's that type of predictability. It works in here where, like, you feel like something has to come, but you don't know how it's going to play out. And that was a good breakdown for this song. Not overly crazy, not over the top, but it's just like, okay, I'm satisfied with that. Onward. Okay, that's another cool hit, sorry. But he does a double cymbal hit, which I think is kind of unique. It's a simple thing, but I don't notice that a lot in songs where you do a double on both cymbals. Maybe that's just a drummer thing, but onward. You gotta sit up for that. You gotta sit up for that. So I don't know, maybe that last part wasn't, I feel like I count that last part in 4/4 and it works, but the beginning half of it is a little off, like it's not totally in 4/4. Anyway, that whole song, I think it's good. I think it's good. It's nothing that blows me out of the water, but the first time I listened to it, I was like, okay, this is just a solid song, and it's a good first song to release. I listened to this song about 3 or 4 times first on my phone through the speakers, then on headphones, and then like on my computer speakers. There's stereo monitors or whatever, but just to get a good feel for it. And that's kind of the impression I got throughout was, all right, this is just a solid song. It's not trying to be anything else other than just good music, which I really like. And he kind of, El Estepario explains later in this video, Like in here, he's introducing his band fellas. But, oh, he's upside down. Cool. But he's just explaining, like, we have other songs that we kind of wanted to release as the first one, but our guitarist wrote this, like, a week ago and recorded it yesterday. And it just felt like it fit for the first song to release. And I would agree with that in the sense that it feels safe. And I know safe has a bad connotation to it, like, oh, they're just playing it safe, like they could have done so much more. But it feels safe in the sense that this will appeal to the widest range of audience possible. That it will get the most people introduced to this music in a good way, where it's like, okay, like, this is a good song, and I'm excited to see what else they have to put forward. Like, maybe their other songs get a little more technical and crazy, or they have like more variety in the types of, in the structure of the song and everything. But yeah, I think this was a good song to put out first because it is memorable. He talks about the vocals being kind of getting stuck in his head, and I think it's true. Like, after listening to this a few times, like, the melody and the guitar, it gets stuck in your head, and I definitely am kind of replaying it after listening to it. And I love the guitar tone. I love the bass. Every instrument is very unique. It's obviously the drums. But yeah, overall, I think a lot of people watch this because of El Estepario, thinking like, all right, this is going to be epic. This is going to be crazy. But no, he's part of a band now. He's putting his own musicianship in it. He's collaborating with other people. He still has his personality in the drums, and you can definitely see that, especially with his kit. It's still super stripped down. And I just like it. I'm really excited to see what other music he has coming out. Other YouTubers release songs, and for whatever reason, I like listen to it, and I could so care less. I could so care less about the music they're putting forth because it sounds like everything else I've already heard, or it just sounds like whatever genre they kind of attach to as a YouTuber. This sounds like, hey, this could go a lot of different directions, and it just seems like, these guys are actually a developed band. And instead of it just being focused on El Estepario Siberiano, it's like, I'm actually interested in the band as a whole, where the guitars came from, where the basses came from, kind of their backgrounds. But yeah, that's my take on it. If you like this video, go ahead and don't give it a like, and if you want to subscribe for more comment or for more videos. And I don't know what I'm doing, but hey, I appreciate you watching. Peace and love, and go get him, Tiger. Bye.